Hey, Dave Stallman here. We're going to solve equations by adding and subtracting. Okay, so before we start, I want to compare an equation to a teeter-totter. So if we have something like, 3 plus 5 equals 8, the equal sign is like a fulcrum or the balance, and this equation is like the board on the teeter-totter. And you'll see that on this side we have 8. So I'm just going to put a little box to show 8. And 3 plus 5 is also 8. So we have 8 on this side, and both boxes stay balanced. So, or the teeter-totter stays balanced. Now, when we solve equations, we are going to attempt to keep the teeter-totter or the equation balanced. Now, for example, if we add the same amount of weight to both sides, the teeter-totter stays balanced. So if we were to add the same amount to each side of the equation would stay equal or balanced. And similarly, we could take off 3 from each side, and it would stay balanced. So this is how we solve equations by adding and subtracting. We can add the same amount to each side of an equation. We can subtract the same amount to each side of the equation, as long as we do the same thing to both sides. Okay? So with that in mind, let's solve an equation. Let's say that we have x plus 2 equals 10. Well, what we want to do is we want to look at the equation, find the variable, and we want to get that thing all by itself. Well, what do we have here? We have a plus 2. We are going to do the opposite. So let's subtract 2 from both sides, and then we have the x still. Plus 2 minus 2 cancels, and then we have 10 minus 2 is 8. And so we solve the equation. And you can substitute this back into the original equation to check your answer. If you substitute in 8 plus 2 is 10. Boom, we did it. We can also do something like subtraction. Let's say that we have x minus 5 equals 15. Well, let's see. Got to slide that up, sorry. We have x minus 5 equals 15. There's the variable. We want to get that by itself. We have a minus 5, so we are going to do the opposite operation. We are going to add 5 to both sides. So we're left with the x. Minus 5 plus 5 cancels. 15 plus 5 is 20. And there's our solution. Let's check our answer. Substitute 20 into the original equation. 20 minus 5 is 15. Boom, we got the right answer. Okay, that's as simple as it is. Okay, if you go to page 25, you should be able to do 1 through 9 and 12 through 20. Give me a shout if you have any troubles. I'm going to do one problem for you. I'm going to squeeze it in right here because it's kind of tricky. Let's do number 4. It is d plus a negative 4 equals negative 7. Okay, well, we got two signs here. What is this really saying? What's plus a negative? It's the same as minus 4. And then once you do that, you can do the opposite operation and get the right answer. I think that's going to be about as tricky as it gets. Again, contact me if you got questions.